Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing good. So today's our topic is RNA world, the structure, different types and functions of RNA. Okay, so as you know, the RNAs are usually single stranded, but sometimes it may appear double stranded due to its folding or coiling of its single strand. Do you get my point? RNAs are usually single stranded and DNAs are always double stranded. But sometimes the RNA may appear double stranded. Why? Due to the folding or coiling of its single strand. Okay. And what is the function of RNA? So RNA or ribonucleic acid carries the genetic code or genetic or hereditary information from DNA in the form of genetic code to the cytoplasm. Okay, to the cytoplasm. Why? To take part in protein and enzyme synthesis. Ribonucleic acid are usually single stranded and they carry the genetic information in the form of genetic code from DNA to the cytoplasm for the production of different types of protein and enzymes. Okay, so now move to the next slide. So chemical components of RNA. So RNA and DNA, these are the nucleic acid. And you know the nucleic acids are mainly consist of three components: the nitrogenous base, the pentose sugar and phosphate group. So what is the difference between DNA and RNA on the basis of their chemical composition? Yes, you know that in RNA the pyrimidine thymine is replaced by uracil. In DNA, the pyrimidine is thymine, but in RNA, the pyrimidine is uracil. And what is the second difference? The second difference is the name of the pentose sugar or 5-carbon sugar present in the RNA, which is the ribose sugar. What is the name of the sugar present in DNA? Yes, that is deoxyribose sugar. Okay, so these two are the difference between the DNA and RNA on the basis of their chemical composition. Okay, so remember in RNA always the pyrimidine or nitrogenous base thymine. So thymine is replaced by uracil and the pentose sugar is always ribose sugar. And what is the difference between the deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar? Do you remember that? Yes, in the carbon position 2, the oxygen molecule, the oxygen atom is missing in DNA. That is why that is called as the deoxyribose. And in ribose sugar, the second position always contain the oxygen. Okay, this is the difference between the ribose and deoxyribose. And because of the presence of this oxygen molecule, the RNA strand becomes unstable. Okay, and it makes it prone to degradation. That means the enzyme can easily degrade the RNA, and that is why RNAs are always unstable. Okay, so move to the next slide. Here see, this is the structure of the RNA, which is the single stranded. Okay, these are the nitrogenous base. These are the nitrogenous base. There are 4 nitrogenous bases: cytosine, guanine, adenine and uracil. And you know the purines are always the double ring structure, whereas pyrimidines are single ring structure. Here you can see the cytosine and uracil, the first one and the last one. These two are the pyrimidines, and that is why these are the single ring structure, whereas the guanine and adenine, these are the purine, and that is why these are the double ringed structure. And this is the structure of RNA. Okay, all these are nitrogenous bases. There is no base pairing here because it is single stranded. Okay, so this is the structure of the RNA molecule. Okay, next. So how many different types of RNAs found? Yes, basically there are three different types of non-genetic RNAs are found. The ribosomal RNA, the transfer RNA, the messenger RNA. Okay, these three RNAs are known as the non-genetic RNA. Why? Because they do not take part in the transmission of genetic character from one generation to the next generation, but they help in protein synthesis directly. Okay, so ribosomal RNA, transfer RNA and messenger RNA help in the production or synthesis of different types of protein in the ribosome, but they do not transfer the genetic information from one generation to the next generation, just like the DNA. And that is why these three are called as the non-genetic RNA. Whereas the next one is the genetic RNA, which acts like the DNA, but these genetic RNAs are found in some viruses, mainly in the riboviruses. Okay. Then small nuclear RNA and small cytoplasmic RNA. Small nuclear RNA means these RNAs are found in the nucleus, and small cytoplasmic RNAs, that means these are found in the cytoplasm. So that means there are at least 6 different types of RNAs found in a cell. Okay guys, so how many types of RNAs are found? There are 6 different types of RNAs are found. The ribosomal RNA, transfer RNA, messenger RNA, these three are called as the non-genetic RNA because these three RNAs only help in the protein production. Then the genetic RNA, these are found in some viruses which exactly act like the DNA. That means they help in the transmission of genetic information from one generation to the next generation. Then last two are small nuclear RNA and small cytoplasmic RNAs. Okay, then next slide. The first one, ribosomal RNA. So what is the function of ribosomal RNA and how many different types of ribosomal RNAs found in the cell? Okay, so ribosomal RNAs are the most abundant RNA in a cell. What does it mean? That means suppose out of 100%, 80% RNAs present in a cell are the ribosomal RNA. Why these are known as the ribosomal RNA? Because these RNAs are found in the ribosome, which is a cell organelle present in the cytoplasm of a cell. Okay, so ribosomal RNA, all these different types of RNAs are produced or synthesized from the DNA inside the nucleus, because the DNA is present inside the nucleus, and that is why all these different types of RNAs along with this ribosomal RNA are produced inside the nucleus, but after production they immediately migrate or move outside to the cytoplasm, and they finally help in the production of protein in different way. Okay, so how ribosomal RNA help in the protein production? So here see, um, this ribosomal RNAs consist of 100 to 5000 nitrogenous bases. Okay, remember this is the largest structured RNA. It contains 100 to 5000 nitrogenous bases. Okay, and ribosomal RNAs always help in the production of the ribosome in the cytoplasm of a cell. What is the function of ribosomal RNA? Ribosomal RNAs always help in the production of ribosome in the cytoplasm. And what is the importance of ribosome? Yes, ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. That means different types of proteins are produced in the ribosome, which is a cell organelle present in the cytoplasm. Remember, the ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. So ribosomal RNAs are found in the ribosome and they help in the production of polyribosome. That means many ribosome in the cytoplasm. And here say this is very important. Depending on the sedimentation coefficient. What is sedimentation coefficient? That means the property of any particle which is sedimented after centrifugation. That means you can say the rate of sedimentation, the amount of precipitate that is formed after centrifugation. Okay, after rotation or after blending, the amount of precipitate that form is called as the sedimentation coefficient. Okay, now so depending on this sedimentation coefficient, there are 4 types of ribosomal RNA in eukaryotes. Remember, depending on the sedimentation coefficient, there are 4 types of ribosomal RNAs in eukaryotes. Okay, so what is sedimentation coefficient? Sedimentation coefficient means the amount of sediment formed, the amount of precipitate formed after centrifugation. Okay, after blending, the amount of precipitate formed is called as the sedimentation coefficient, and depending on the sedimentation coefficient, there are 4 types of ribosomal RNAs in eukaryotes, and these are 28S, 18S, 5.8S and 5S ribosomal RNA. Okay, so how many? There are 4 different types of ribosomal RNA in the eukaryotic cell, and these are 20S, 18S, 5.8S and 5S. Okay, so these 4 are the different types of RNAs, ribosomal RNAs present in eukaryotic cell. So ribosome, what is the structure of ribosome? So one ribosome has 2 unit, 2 subunit. One is the larger unit, one is the smaller unit. I will show you the diagram later. So in the larger subunit, the 20S, 5.8S and 5S, this type of ribosomal RNAs are found, whereas in the small subunit, in the small structure of the ribosome, the 18S ribosomal RNAs are found. Okay, same way in prokaryotic ribosome. In prokaryotic ribosomes have 3 types of ribosomal RNAs, and these are 23, 16 and 5S. That means in prokaryotic cell, in the structure of ribosome, the 23 and 5S, these 2 are found in the larger subunit, whereas the 16S ribosomal RNAs are found in the smaller subunit of the ribosome structure. Okay, remember the name of the ribosomal RNAs found in the eukaryotic cell. These are the 20S, S for sedimentation coefficient. Okay, then 18S, 5.8S and 5S. And in prokaryotic cell, the ribosomal RNAs are 23S, S meaning what? S meaning sedimentation coefficient. Then 16 and 5S. Okay, so what is the function of the 5S? Means the 5 sedimentation coefficient ribosomal RNA. So these 5S RNAs and the protein surrounding it provide the binding site for transfer RNA. Okay, what is the function of this 5S ribosomal RNA? This 5S ribosomal RNA along with the surrounding protein provide the binding site for transfer RNA during protein synthesis. Okay, so our next slide, the messenger RNA. The second one, is messenger RNA. So messenger RNA means the RNAs which carries the messages from one strand of DNA. Okay, which carries the messages from one strand of DNA, which is also called as the template strand of DNA molecule. Okay, it carries the messages means genetic information. So it carries the messages from one strand of DNA, which is also called the template strand of DNA, to the ribosome. Where? To the ribosome for the production of particular type of polypeptide. Polypeptide means protein structure. Okay, what is the function of messenger RNA? So messenger RNA carries the genetic information from the template strand of DNA molecule, that means from one strand of DNA molecule to the ribosome for the production of particular protein. That is the function of messenger RNA. And messenger RNAs are only 5% of the total weight of RNA. Okay, so messenger RNA, the amount of messenger RNA is very small. This is out of 100%, the 80% ribosomes are ribosomal RNA, whereas only 5% 5% RNAs are only the messenger RNA. Okay, so the ribosomal RNAs are 80%, whereas the messenger RNAs are only 5%. Okay, only 5%. So next see. So what is the importance of this messenger RNA? Okay. So here see, the messenger RNA contains the information in the form of genetic codes. Okay. The messenger RNA contains all the information that is present in the DNA molecule in the form of these genetic codes. Okay. Remember, this is very important because all the different types of proteins are produced from this messenger RNA. Okay. Ribosomal RNAs only help in the production of ribosome. Okay. This way they help in the production of this protein. And messenger RNA directly carries the information from DNA to the ribosome for different protein production. And they carry this information in the form of this genetic code. Okay, next. The messenger RNA has the methylated region. Okay, the messenger RNA has methylated region at the 5' end. So all the RNAs are single stranded. Okay, suppose this one is the messenger RNA. So messenger RNA has also two ends. This one is called as the suppose 5 and this one is the 3. Okay, so in the 5' end the methylated group is present. Okay, so because of this the 5' end is called as the capping, and this cap is made up of methyl guanosine triphosphate. Okay, capping means topi. So here see, in the 5' end one methylated group is present, which is called methyl guanosine triphosphate, and at the 3' end the polyaethyl many adenylate residues are present. You will get this one in our later class during protein production. Okay, so here only you have to remember that in messenger RNA in the 5' end the capping is present, and that cap is made up of the methyl group, and in the 3' end many adenylate residues are present, because of which this is called as the polyaethyl. Poly means many, A for adenylate, tail means the tailing, the last part of the messenger RNA. Okay, these 2 points are very important. Remember, the capping and tailing, these 2 parts are very important. So next, here see, and messenger RNA may be monocystronic and may be polycystronic. Wait. The messenger RNA may be monocystronic or may be polycystronic. What does it mean? Monocystonic means when only one single type of polypeptide is formed from the mRNA strand, then this is known as the monocystonic mRNA. Okay, only when only one single type of polypeptide is formed from the mRNA strand, then that is called as the monocystonic. When different types of or large number of polypeptide are formed from the mRNA strand, then that type of mRNA strand is called as the polycystonic mRNA. Remember, when only a single type of polypeptide is formed from the messenger RNA, then this type of messenger RNAs are called as the monocystonic. Mono means one. And when a large number of polypeptide are formed from the messenger RNA strand, then that type of messenger RNA are called as the polycystonic. Poly means many. So now move to the next slide, the transfer RNA. Okay, so what is the function of transfer RNA? Yes, the transfer RNA picks up different types of activated amino acid from the amino acid pool to the site of protein synthesis. Okay, here see what is the main function of transfer RNA? The main function of transfer RNA to pick up specific amino acid from amino acid pools to the site of protein synthesis, which is called as the ribosome, when during protein production. Okay, so transfer RNA carries the amino acid from where? From amino acid pool, which is present in the different region of this same cytoplasm. Okay, this is far away from the site of protein production, that means from the ribosome, and that is why the transfer RNA pick up the specific type of amino acid which are activated amino acid from that pool, from the definite area of cytoplasm to the ribosome for protein production. This is the function of transfer RNA, and the transfer RNAs are 15%, approximately 15% of the total number of RNA in a cell. Okay, wait. So the ribosomal RNAs are 80% out of 100%. The messenger RNAs are only 5%, and whereas the transfer RNAs are 15%. Okay, so this transfer RNA help in the transfer of specific amino acid from amino acid pool to the site of protein synthesis, and the site of protein synthesis means what? To the ribosome. Okay, so remember, the transfer RNA is the smallest RNA among all RNAs. Among all means among the messenger and ribosomal RNA. This is the smallest RNA. Why? Because it only contains 73 to 93 nitrogenous bases in their whole structure. Okay, it only contains 73 to 93 nucleotides, that means nitrogenous bases in its structure. That is why this is the smallest RNA, and the tRNAs are also known as the soluble RNA. Remember, the tRNAs are also known as the soluble RNA because these are found dissolved in the cytoplasm. Okay, that is why these are known as the soluble RNA, and this is the smallest RNA. Why? Because it contains only 73 to 93 nitrogenous bases in the structure. Okay, and very important point, remember, some of the nitrogenous bases are modified. Okay, some of the nitrogenous bases get modified, and these are the example. Here see, some uridine becomes pseudouridine. Okay, some uridine becomes the dihydrouridine, the second one is the dihydrouridine, and some becomes the ionosine, and some ribothiamidine. Okay, so these four are the modified nucleotide. Remember, these four are the modified nucleotide which are only found in the transfer RNA. So remember, some nitrogenous bases of the nucleotide of RNA get modified. Okay, nucleotide of tRNA, transfer RNA get modified. These are not found in the ribosomal RNA, in messenger RNA. These are only found in the transfer RNA, which is the smallest RNA. Okay, so in the transfer RNA, some nitrogenous bases of the nucleotide get modified, and the examples are the pseudouridine, psi, dihydrouridine, DHU, the inosine I, and ribothymidine, RT. Okay, remember, these four are the modified nitrogenous bases of the nucleotide of transfer RNA. Okay, so now come to the structure of the transfer RNA. This is very important for your final examination. Remember the structure of transfer RNA. Okay, so the structure of transfer RNA, here see, this is the structure of transfer RNA. So mainly the transfer RNA consists of 5 arms. Remember, the structure of transfer RNA consists of 5 arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and where is the 5th number arm? This one, the smallest one. Remember, this is very important for the final year examination, the structure of the transfer RNA, which is also called as the soluble RNA. Okay, the structure of the transfer RNA mainly consists of 5 arms, whereas this one 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and what is the name of these arms? Yes, see, the first arm is called as the anticodon arm, or you can say anticodon loop. Which one is the loop? The balloon like structure is called as the loop. Okay, so this one, these are the loops, these are the loop, the balloon like structure in the balloon like structures in the structure of transfer RNA, these are called the loop. Okay, these are loops, whereas these are called as the arms. Okay, so these are the loops. There are 3 loops present, and how many arms? There are 5 arms present. Okay, so move to the previous slide. So this is the structure of the transfer RNA. The first arm is called as the anticodon loop, anticodon arm. So anticodon arm, remember the names. Okay, first one is the anticodon. Anticodon loop or anticodon arm, that is present just opposite of the amino acid binding sign, which is the second number. I will show you in the diagram, but before that just remember the names. Okay, the first arm is the anticodon loop. Anticodon loop always present opposite to the amino acid binding sign, which is the second number, and this anticodon loop contains 7 nitrogenous bases, out of which 3 nitrogenous bases form the anticodon. Okay, so anticodon loop is always present opposite of the amino acid binding site, and it contains 7 nitrogenous bases, out of which 3 nitrogenous bases form the anticodon for recognizing and for the attachment to the genetic codon of messenger RNA. Do you get my point? So anticodon loop has 3 nitrogenous bases which form anticodon. Anticodon means opposite of the genetic codon. Okay, so anticodon loop has 3 nitrogenous base which can form the anticodon. And what is the importance of this anticodon? This anticodon help in the recognizing and attachment to the genetic code present in the messenger RNA. So what is the importance of genetic code? All the genetic codes contain the genetic information that is present in the DNA. Okay, because of which different types of proteins are produced during the translation. And this anticodon loop present in the transfer RNA help in the recognizing and attachment to the genetic code in messenger RNA. Okay, so next one is the amino acid binding site, which is present opposite of this anticodon loop, and remember it lies at the 3' end. Okay, the amino acid AA for amino acid, the amino acid binding site lies at the 3' end of opposite to the anticodon loop, and it has the CCA OH group, hydroxyl group. CCA, these are the nitrogenous base, and OH is the hydroxyl group. Okay, the here see in the diagram, look here, this is the anticodon. Okay, this is the anticodon loop, and you can see this 3 point, these are the nitrogenous bases which form the anticodon, and this one is the messenger RNA. Okay, look, so this is 3' to 5'. This is this one 3' to 5'. This is the messenger RNA, and this is the anticodon loop of the transfer RNA, and this anticodon loop binds to this messenger RNA with the help of these 3 nitrogenous bases. Okay, then opposite of this anticodon loop, the next one is amino acid binding site. Okay, this is the amino acid binding site which contain the hydroxyl group and CCA. These are nitrogenous bases. Okay, so this is the 3' end which contain the hydroxyl group, whereas this is the 5'. Okay, have a look. This is the 5' and this is the 3'. Okay, so opposite of this anticodon loop, this is called as the amino acid binding site. Okay, so next one, next see, so anticodon loop finished. Okay, anticodon loop contains the anticodon for recognizing and attachment to the messenger RNA, and amino acid binding site. What is the function of amino acid binding site? That means it helps in the binding of the specific type of amino acid. Okay, so this way the transfer RNA picks up specific amino acid from amino acid pool. How? The structure of the transfer RNA, which part of the tRNA binds to the amino acid? The amino acid binding site. When it goes to the amino acid pool, then this amino acid binding site of the transfer RNA binds to the amino acid and brings it to the ribosome for protein production. Okay, always remember the 3' end. Okay, the 3' end opposite of the anticodon loop, contain the amino acid binding site. Okay, then next one, number 3, T-cycle loop. What is T and Cy? C for cytosine. What is T? I have told you already in my previous slide. This one C. These are some modified nitrogenous bases in the nucleotide of transfer RNA, where the Cy means pseudouridine and T for ribothymidine. Okay. So the T-cycle loop, the third number arm or third number loop in the transfer RNA structure is T-cycle loop, where this T and Cy, these are some modified nitrogenous bases in the nucleotide, whereas the T means ribothymidine and Cy means pseudouridine. Okay, and this arm has 7 nitrogenous bases. Okay, this arm has 7 nitrogenous bases. The total structure contain only how much? Only 73 to 93 nitrogenous bases. The total structure contains 73 to 93 nitrogenous bases. That is why this is the smallest RNA. So this T-cycle loop again contains 7 nitrogenous bases. Okay, whereas the anticodon loop also contains 7 nitrogenous bases. Okay, so this is the third arm, whereas the T where the T is the ribothymidine and psi is the pseudouridine and C for cytosine. Okay, so this is another loop. And what is the function? What is the importance of this loop? This T psi C loop helps in the ribosome attachment. Okay, what does mean? What does it mean? That means this tRNA binds to the ribosome with the help of T psi C loop during protein production. Okay, this transfer RNA binds to the ribosome with the help of T psi C loop during protein production, and with the help of amino acid binding site, the transfer RNA binds to specific amino acid. Okay, and what is the anticodon loop? Anticodon loop helps in the binding or attachment to the genetic code of messenger RNA. Simply you have to remember the anticodon loop binds to the messenger RNA. Okay, the amino acid binding site, it helps in the binding of amino acid, and the T psi C loop helps in the binding or attachment to the ribosome during the synthesis of protein. Okay, then fourth number arm is called as the DHU loop. What is DHU? Dihydrouridine loop. This is another modified nitrogenous basis of nucleotide, dihydrouridine. So DHU loop, it contains 8 to 12 nitrogenous bases. Okay, and it is the longest arm of the transfer RNA. It contains 8 to 12 nitrogenous bases. Okay, and it has one modified nitrogenous base, which is the dihydrouridine. Okay, and what is the importance of this DHU loop? This DHU loop helps in the binding of amino acid synthesis enzyme. Okay, this DHU loop helps in the binding of amino acid synthesis enzyme, which is the activating enzyme of amino acid during the protein production. So this is the function of the DHU loop or DHU arm. Okay, so the last one is the variable arm. The last one is the variable arm. So this variable arm lies between T psi C loop and the anticodon loop. Okay, the variable arm lies between the T psi C loop and anticodon loop. So look at this diagram. I have told you that transfer RNA has 5 arms. Okay, the transfer RNA has 5 arms. The very important anticodon loop, which binds to the genetic code of messenger RNA during protein production. Remember, the anticodon loop binds to the messenger RNA during protein production in the ribosome. The amino acid binding site, which lies opposite to the anticodon loop, that binds to specific amino acid during protein production. Then third number arm is T psi C loop. So T psi C loop contain 2 modified nitrogenous bases or nucleotide, you can say nucleotide. T for ribothymidine, psi for pseudouridine. Okay, and C for cytosine or cytidine. So now this loop or this arm helps in the attachment to the ribosome during protein production. This way, the tRNA binds to the ribosomal RNA during binds to the ribosome during the protein production. Whereas the fourth number arm is called DHU loop. The DHU loop helps in the attachment to the amino acid synthesis enzyme. Okay, and the fifth number arm is, this is not loop, this is arm. There is no balloon like structure here, so this is called as the variable arm or extra arm. In some tRNAs, this arm is not found. That means the variable arm is not present in all transfer RNAs. okay, and it does not have any specific function also. So this is called as the extra arm, or you can say this is called as the variable arm, which lies between the anticodon and T-side C loop. Okay, so this diagram is very important. Remember all the names of the arms of transfer RNA. So transfer RNA are always also called as the soluble RNA, and transfer RNAs consist of 5 arms: anticodon arm or anticodon loop, amino acid acceptor arm, T-side C loop or arm, then D arm or DHU arm, or you can say loop, and variable arm or extra arm. Okay, so this is the structure of transfer RNA. So this is all about the messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA, and transfer RNA. Okay, so ribosomal RNA, transfer RNA, messenger RNA, these are the non-genetic RNA, and all these three different types of RNAs help in the protein production in different way. Okay, ribosomal RNAs, the ribosomal RNAs help in the production of ribosome for protein production. The transfer RNA picks up specific type of amino acid from amino acid pool to the site of protein production called ribosome. And messenger RNA, it carries the messages from DNA in the form of genetic code to the ribosome for protein production. Okay, all these three different types of RNAs help in protein production in different way. Remember, and these three are called as the non-genetic RNA. So now come to the next one, which is called as the genetic RNA. Here see, these are the different types of non-genetic RNAs. The first one, this one is the messenger RNA, which is single-stranded RNA. Okay, and the messenger RNA contains the genetic information in the form of genetic code, and genetic codes are always present in the composition of three nitrogenous bases. Like it may be triple A, it may be AUU, it may be AGC, like that. Okay, so any three nitrogenous bases constitute, or suppose any three nitrogenous bases can produce one genetic code. But remember, there is no T in the nitrogenous in this genetic code. Okay, because the genetic codes are present in the RNA, that means in the messenger RNA. That is why there is no thymine, only uracil present. So the messenger RNA contains the genetic code, and genetic codes means which carries the genetic information. Next one is the ribosomal RNA, whereas this is the structure of ribosome. Remember, this is the structure of ribosome, and inside it all these are the ribosomal RNA. This one is the ribosomal RNA. This one is ribosomal RNA, and this is the structure of ribosome, whereas this is the larger subunit, this is the smaller subunit. Okay, let's see, this is the ribosomal RNA inside this ribosome, and ribosome has one larger subunit and one smaller subunit. Okay, and last one, this one is the transfer RNA. This is the transfer RNA. Okay, so this is transfer RNA, this is ribosomal RNA, this is the ribosome, and inside it these are the ribosomal RNA, and this is the messenger RNA, and all these three RNAs help in the protein production in ribosome. Ribosome is a cell organelle which is found in the cytoplasm of a cell. Okay, so next one, the genetic RNA. So I have told you that genetic RNAs are found in some viruses, and these viruses are mainly the riboviruses. Okay, an example, the tobacco mosaic virus, the influenza, HIV, reoviruses. All these viruses have the RNA, and these RNAs are called genetic RNA because these RNAs help in the transmission or transfer of genetic characters from one generation to the next generation, just like the DNA present in the eukaryotic cell. And that is why these RNAs are called as the genetic RNA. So next one, fifth number, the small nuclear RNA. So small nuclear RNAs are found in the nucleus, which mainly takes part in the splicing process, RNA processing and messenger RNA processing. Okay, splicing means the removal of some non-coding region from which there will be no production of the protein. That part is known as the non-coding. So splicing means the removal of the non-coding region from the messenger RNA is called as the splicing. Okay, then RNA processing, after production of the RNA, these are processed for the proper function. Then messenger RNA processing, so the small nuclear RNAs only help in these processes. Okay, then what is the function of the last one, the small cytoplasmic RNA, which are found in the cytoplasm. They help in binding the they help in binding the ribosome to endoplasmic reticulum. What is the function of the sixth number ribosome? The small cytoplasmic ribosome, which help in binding the ribosome to the endoplasmic reticulum. Why? For the production of different types of secretory proteins. Okay, so these are the different types of RNAs, whereas the non-genetic RNAs are very important among all these RNAs. So always remember the different types of non-genetic RNA and their function along with the diagram of the transfer RNA. Very important point. The structure of transfer RNA is very important. Remember which are the modified nitrogenous bases of nucleotide in transfer RNA, how many arms present in the transfer RNA. Okay, so these are very important. But this fifth and sixth number, these two are not too much important for your exam. Okay, so remember only the structure of this transfer RNA. And oh sorry, okay, so here see, okay, so here we have got that there are 6 type of RNAs. So remember the function and structure of these three. Okay, these three are very important, remember. So this is all about the different types of RNAs. This is all about the different types of RNAs and their functions. So this is all for today, guys, and hope you all are fine and take care.